Okay, so this next piece is called Elijah Rock. It's an arrangement of a spiritual by Jester Hairston. If you ever saw the 1980s television show Amen, he played the deacon in the church. So he was also an actor, but he was a classically trained composer, but he was very well known for setting spirituals. And this particular one is very rhythmic in nature, but yet it's also very consistent. So what we're going to do a little bit different here, and we're going to work on this at our first rehearsal. So we got Elijah rock, rest, shout, shout, rest. Elijah rock, coming up, Lord. Elijah rock, off, shout, shout, rest. Elijah rock, coming up, Lord. So that's the theme that keeps coming back, specifically in the bass part. So you'll hear it. It's this. Here we go, basses. 1, 2, ready, and. Breath. Shout, shout, off. And that theme just keeps going on and on and on. Now, above that, we have the soprano part that comes in on Elijah. So you come here. Elijah. Elijah. And that happens over top of that very rhythmic dee-da-da-dum, dum, dum. Okay, so you got some layering that's happening here. Then when we turn the page and we go to the next little section here, the tenors, you come in with that same idea. You have this. Oh, I'll play it here. And. And then you start to repeat. But if you notice, the soprano, alto, soprano 1, soprano 2, and the alto, now they come in above that theme. So bass and tenors, you got that exact same rhythmic and melodic thing happening. You're singing the same notes, the same rhythms at this point. While above you, the sopranos, you're doing this. And you're holding that. And then on the top of page 5, you go. So that gives a really nice contrast to what the bass and tenors are doing. Altos, your line is a little bit different. It's rhythmically the same as the soprano parts, but melodically, obviously, you have a different tune. They're singing in thirds of one another. Yours is different. So you're doing. So that's you there. And then your next part on top of 5 is. Yeah. And then you hold that. And then, if you take a look at the bottom of page 5, we're all doing Elijah rock, off, shout, shout. Elijah rock, coming up, Lord. So we all of a sudden are doing that same rhythmic idea, that rhythmic motive. So sopranos, yours is this. And you got that melody. Right? That's the melody there on the bottom of page 5. Second sopranos, you have this. That's your part. Tenors, altos, you have this. And. See how yours differs. And then tenors, you have. And. Yeah, notice yours go down. The melody is Elijah rock, shout, shout. But yours is Elijah rock, shout, shout. Elijah rock, coming up, Lord. Your melody is different and it's a direct contrast to what the actual principal melody is. Basses. You have Elijah Rock, shout, shout, Elijah Rock, coming up, Lord. So you get this wonderful sense of contrary motion between the parts. There's that similar, I won't say similar, exact rhythmic idea, but harmonically, wow, it gets very, very diverse. Then the next part on top of 6, you have the same idea all the way through until you get to the 2/4 section. So soprano, I'm gonna start on top of 6 where you're singing Elijah Rock. So this is soprano 1. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. And then that's what you do. So we're coming out of that di-da, ba, di-da, ba. And you hit it hard, and then you diminuendo to almost a nothingness in dynamic. Second soprano, you have on top of page 6, I'm sorry. Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, 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 right? And then bum, you stay on that note. Then alto, you're singing the note that the second sopranos are holding. So this is your starting note at Elijah, top of 6. 1, 2, ready, and Elijah Rock, shout, shout, Elijah Rock, coming up. Yeah, sorry, coming up, Lord. Or ba-da-da. And then you have and. Okay, that's the tenor part that's actually going to bring that next line in. So altos, when you're doing your coming up and then you're hitting your Lord, you're holding that. And then tenors, you're going to be coming in with that Elijah Rock, which is the melody that you've had previously. So tenors, we're going to start you on top of 6 again. Here we go, tenors only. This is you. 1, 2, ready, and. And then you have and. Yeah, so you got to be really careful because your part is interesting. It sounds like it wants to do the original tune, but it changes for a brief moment, and then it goes back to the original tune. So that's what makes this one interesting because it's so repetitive, but there are these moments of sudden shift. Melodically, harmonically, things that the ear was not anticipating, but it was familiar to the ear. So look at that tenor part again, starting at top of 6 tenors. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Then you go where? Yes. That's the original. All of that's original. And. Right? So you have something unique, and then all of a sudden it becomes the original again. Looking at the bass, starting on top of 6. Bass, we have this. 1, 2, ready, and. Ba, 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 and. Ba, ba, and. Ba, ba, ba. It's similar to the tenor in the sense that you have something, the first 2 measures that's a little unexpected, but then you go into what was established earlier on. Then we get to page 7. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at the soprano parts again. So sopranos, you have Satan, a liar, and a conjurer too, right? So here we go. And then the bass and tenor, bass, you go, if you don't mind out, he'll conjure you, right? Then sopranos, you do. Right? So that part, we get some call and response between the two sections. So you really want to be mindful of that, okay? So let's just do the soprano part straight through without commentary. And we're going to slow it down so I don't butcher it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Hold on. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, B, D, 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 and. One, two, three, four. 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, stop there because we get into this 3 at that point. So that's the soprano 1 part, okay? Soprano 2, starting on the bottom of page 7, you got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3. Bum, 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 bum. I'm playing wrong note. Bottom of page 8, right at Elijah. And bum, 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 bum. 4, 1, 2, 3. Ba. That's your ba 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 ba. So you're coming off of rock, rest, 1, 2, 3. Ba dee da 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 da. All right, let's try that one more time. Starting at Elijah, bottom of 8. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Ah! 4, 1, 2. Right? And then we go into the 3 section. I'll stop there because that's a whole nother beast. Now we look at the tenor part on top of 8. Actually, no, let me go back. Yeah, top of 8 for the tenors because that's where you come in next. So you have 1, 2, 3. Right? Ba, 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 ba. Now let me play it in your octave though, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And ba ba dee da ba 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 ba. And then you got this is get tricky here. You get that ba da 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 ba. So that's very different. You and the basses have something very different in that silence that the sopranos and altos have. You get this nice little dee dee da da ba. Then shout about, right? Da da dum. Yeah, so we want to be ready for that too. That's a tricky one. Let's do that one more time. Top of 8 tenors, starting on that B flat. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And bum, ba, da, dum, ba, 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 ba. And then get bum, ba, ba, then and then it goes on to the next little section. All right, basses. Starting with you actually on the bottom of page 7. We have If You Don't Mind. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And ba ba da da then bum 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 bum. I'm sorry. Bum 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 ba da da dum bum. Now the challenge with you basses, it's not so much the tenors because the tenors are moving up into a part of their voice that's more comfortable, out of a part that's not as comfortable. You're moving out of a part that's comfortable into a part that's not quite as comfortable. So when you do, we're going to shout, right? So you have, let me see. So you have, we're going to shout, shout. So you have to be ready for that. We're gonna shout. We're gonna shout, shout. Right? That's what's going to allow you to be able to get into your that part of your voice. Now, the last little bit here, when we go into that Elijah rock coming up, Elijah rock coming up, Elijah rock coming up, and then we're back to 2 again, right? So I want you to think bum 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 off. Okay? That's what I want you to think. So say with me the words. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and Elijah rock coming up, Elijah rock coming up, Elijah rock coming up, Lord, off, right? Where that's the soprano part that I'm holding the Lord, but everyone else comes in at Elijah rock and shout, shout, and Elijah rock coming up, Lord, Elijah rock, which is the same rhythmic patterns that we had at the beginning. Okay, so hopefully that helps break that section down a little bit for you. So tenors, you have your, on top of page 10, you have that and. Right? Then bass and tenors, you continue to do your, or basses, you continue to do it. And eventually it's complete soft silence with the last one being conducted out of tempo. So if I were to take the top of page 11, and we're doing the bass, you got that Elijah rock, shout, shout, Elijah rock coming up, Lord, Elijah rock, shout, shout, Elijah rock coming up, Lord, Elijah rock, shout, shout, Elijah rock coming up, Lord, Elijah rock, shout, shout, softly, Elijah rock coming up, Lord. Like that. All right. And sopranos and altos on the very top. Well, actually, soprano 1 and soprano 2. Alto, you took a break at the end of page 10. So soprano 1 and 2 on the very top, you're just doing that da, da, and you hold that, and then Elijah, and then you get softer and softer, and then you're done, because at that point the basses take over. And that is Elijah Rock. I hope that gives you some insight. I broke it down by section rather than playing straight through on each part, because it's so repetitive, but it's very important that you understand the distinctions between the various sections. So I broke it down and kind of identified each of the sections and each of the parts that you're singing as they relates to the other parts and rhythmically. So I hope this helps with your practice.